So basically in yesterday's class, we did data load, right? Or data management. So we learned what is importing data and exporting data. So importing data means getting the data from external system inside of Salesforce, right? That's what we call import. Export means we take the data from Salesforce to external system, right? That is export. So we can do import and export using Salesforce Inspector. Okay, so we installed Salesforce Inspector on the Chrome browser, and this is the thing, right? And you can do either of these things like export, import, and all this you can perform. So to import the data, I click on data import, and here I have objects, right? Which all objects I can select. Can be standard, custom, any object you will find here that you want to import. Import may consist of different DMLs, right? Data manipulation languages. Like insert, you can do update, you can upsert and delete. Insert is nothing but you're inserting new information into Salesforce. Update means you are using existing data and you're trying to update some other field, right? So for instance, account name is account 1, but now you want to update this account with right phone number, then you can do the update activity. Upsert is nothing but you insert as well as you want to update at the same time, right? So that means you want to insert new records and you want to update existing records, then you can go for upsert. Delete, as you know, it is straightforward, like you just delete the records from the database, so that is delete. So we will try inserting data first, like the same thing we'll try to repeat, right? So we'll try to first do insertion. So if I select over here, mm, let's try to import custom object today. So we have employees, employers. Okay. So we have employees as the custom object. So what I want to do is I want to insert employee record in Salesforce, right? So I have a bunch of employees, let's assume, and this file will be given to us by business. So what we'll do, we'll keep the name field, right? And then I'll want to keep the salary also. If I want, I'll keep salary. And I don't want to have employer at the moment, let's assume, right? Or I think we need to have employer because it's required field. So I'll show you what happens here. Okay. So we'll take some employer names, sorry, employee names. Let's say I'm trying to insert 20 records. Okay. So we'll copy this. I just copied it. That's it. Control C. And now I'm going to data import. So what are we doing? We're inserting which records? Employee records. So I'll go and select employee. So you see there's a custom object employee. Select this and paste it. Now here the fields on the Excel should be mapped on with the fields in Salesforce. So you see here name we are mapping and salary we are mapping with salary _ C. All right. So once you do this, you can click on import. So now there is a problem. It failed. Why did it fail? Okay. Because it is asking for employer, right? Employer is a required field on employee because employer and employee are related with master detail. So what we need to do, we need to make sure that we have employer in the system first of all, right? So do we have employer in the system? Let's check. Yes, we do have employer in the system, right? So what I need, Can one of you tell me from yesterday's class, what do I need of the employer in order to insert employees? I have name, I have salary. Now I
Last
want,
name. Last
My
name.
ID.
sorry, come again.
ID.
Very good. We need the ID, right? Because employer is what? It's a object, right? So if it's an object, then you need to be able to give a lookup. So what I'm going to do is I'll explain this for people who missed it or did not understand again. So we have employee here. Okay, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to insert employee records in Salesforce. Had employer field not been there, right? It is just the name and salary. I could have easily imported without this error, right? This error would not have come. But the error is coming because employer is a required field on the employee. So I need to make sure employer is getting inserted along with the employee. But employer is a different object, right? It's not the same object as employee, right? So if I click here, you see it looks up to this employer. So either I need to create new employers and use that particular ID, right? Employer ID, 18-digit ID that Salesforce generates, right? This one, this is the 18-digit ID, which I'm highlighting in the URL, right? I need to use this ID in order to do the insertion. So how can I fetch the employer ID? I can run, one thing is I can run a query, right? Like yesterday we learned how to run a query, right? So what we will do select ID from employer, right? Now if I simply do the select ID from employer, I have two IDs, but I don't know which is the employer, right? So simply for my understanding, I'll try to get the name of the employer. Now TCS UK and TCS India, right? So in the Excel file, if I create a column now, okay, if I create a column called employer, because the system is asking me to enter, and if I put TCS India, is that correct? TCS India. Okay, now I'll copy this entire thing and I will name, salary, employer. Do you think this will pass? Is this going to insert employee records in Salesforce?
Arish? No. You put partner.
Hmm?
No.
So what is the mistake in this file?
ID.
So I need to get the ID of what? TCS India, correct? So how do I get
Yes.
the ID of TCS India? I have ran a query here. You see TCS India ka ID yahan pe hai. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this ID. Okay. Before doing that, let's see what's the failure if I import, right? Let me show you the fail. See here, employer ID value of incorrect type, TCS India. So what is it expecting? It is expecting the ID. That is what the error message is, right? Invalid value of incorrect data type. So what I'll do, I'll go back here and I'll paste this ID. Next, I'm going to copy this and retry again. So name, salary, employer, done. Now I will import. This time it has to pass. So it is successfully inserted in the database. Now I have to check, right, whether it's a pass or fail. How do I check? Can one of you tell me from yesterday's class? What will be my query?
Select ID from accounts where created date is equal to today.
Select
ID from employer.
employer,
Employee.
employee,
Employee.
correct? Mhm.
Where
Mm.
created date is equal to today.
So I got the ID, but I need to know more, right? Name, salary
Name.
also.
employee name also.
So this is what got inserted. You see, Malti salary 10 lakhs. So if I now select this particular record, it should be there. Okay. Understood? Any questions in the import? Insert? Did you all get it? And Ayush, did you also understand this concept?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's try to play some activity here, right? Like, I mean, let's try to understand if you guys can write good queries. Okay.
Ma'am, I have one question, ma'am.
Mhm.
Whether is there a necessity for employee and employer to be connected? There should be relationship between them.
In the sense, sorry, I didn't get it. Like,
Look up for master detail, like such between the objects, in
for-
order to try for practice. If we take some these fields from employee or employer,
Hmm.
is there necessity for relationship between them, employee and
See,
employer?
the easiest situation is to insert data for one object, right? If I tell you to insert the record for account, it's easy to do, right? One shot, you'll insert account ka data, correct? But if I tell you to insert record on child object, think about it, right? I'll tell you to insert the record on child object. Child will always have a parent on the page.
Yes.
And if it is linked through master detail, what does that mean? You cannot insert the child without the parent, correct?
Yes, parent is mandatory.
Mandatory. So in such situations, you may need to understand, the parent data. Is that
Okay.
making sense?
Yes, yes.
But if it is not linked through master detail and now they have told you to insert child data records, right? It's okay to insert it. But is it a good practice? It may not be. So you may want to educate and check with your business, right? Like, okay, we are inserting your data for the child, but can we also get the parent info? So it's useful. It's a good database, right?
Yes.
So these type of questions can open up. And yeah, to your point, while practicing, it's always good to practice with records that have parent and child relationship. Okay, so let's try to build some queries here. So you guys help me construct the query, right? Now I want you guys to tell me, all the names of the employees whose salary is greater than 50,000. So what will be my query?
Which this ma'am object?
I
Select
want to
ID.
find out like all the employees whose salary is
Okay.
greater than 50,000.
Select ID from employee where
ID from
employee
hmm.
where salary is greater than 60,000 or something.
Okay, yeah, salary is whatever greater than
No, greater than
50K,
okay 15.
right?
Name also should be entered.
So name, because I asked you guys the name of the employees, right?
Yeah, name, contact, email.
So this is what will be your data. Okay, now let me look at other data and try to ask you some more of these employers. Okay. Count. Okay. Now I want to find out the employer name from the employee. Like you're getting, like I want to also know who is the employer for this employee. Then what I will select here. I want to know the employers also. Like,
Comma employer name.
so employer. See over here we have employer underscore C
C.
and employer underscore R, right? So you need
Underscore
to
C.
select this R, okay? Because
Employer R dot name.
yeah, exactly. Dot
My dot name.
because R stands for relationship. Okay, so we are saying that employee is really linked to employer, and now we are getting into the database of employer, right? We're just getting inside it, and now we are like trying to fetch the details of employer with a dot. After the dot, you can fetch all the fields of the employer, and what we want to know, we want to know the name. Okay. Now, this is a query from the child object, right? Like I am trying to find out the name of the employee and employer. But now if my query is changing, like I want to know all the employers. Okay. I want to know the names of all the employers which have their employees' salary greater than 50K. You're getting the twist in the question.
Yes.
So I want to know all the names of the employers who have the salary of their employees greater than 50K.
Select ID from employee.
So ये हो गया employee ना, like लेकिन I am asking you कि I want to know names of all the employers who has their
Okay,
employees.
select ID from employers.
Correct. Sorry, employer. So यहाँ पे what information I want?
What's the question?
I want to know the names of the employers who have their employees' salary greater than 50K.
Employer R dot name.
So now this is the tricky part, okay? So you're just trying to apply the same logic, but it doesn't work that way, okay? Because employee is not a field on employer. Do you all agree? Is employee a field on employer?
No, it is different object
So where you will find employee on employer?
related.
In related list. Very good. So what I need to do is I need to build a inner query. Okay. So this bracket I will open up and I will say select ID from employee, and the same query what you guys wrote, no? Employee where salary, right? Where salary is greater than 50K. Select ID from something is wrong. Select ID from employees. Okay. This comma. Select ID from employees. Employee. Okay, I think we need to get the right name. I may be making a spelling mistake. Let's try to find out the API name of this object. So what is the API name? Employee. See, plural is employees. We need to take this employees. Underscore C. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I did an error. I mean, there was an error. So what happens is, see, the actual API name of employee, right, is this. Where did it go? Yeah, it is employee underscore C, right? But when we are trying to query from the parent, because now the query is from the parent, right? Employer is what? Employer is the parent. Now I want to fetch the child information from the parent, and child is not present as a field on the parent, right? Like you guys said, it's a separate object, it's a related list. So if I want to extract the child info from the parent called employer, right, then I need to always write an inner query. Please make a note of this. If you want to fetch child info from parent, you have to write inner query. If you want to fetch the parent info from the child, right, it's a simple query because parent info on the child is a field. Correct?
Yes.
All right, so that's how this whole situation is like. And now whatever you want, you can get over here. Name, right? And then where salary is greater than 50K. No such column exists. Okay. Because there is no column like this on the employee, right? So you cannot get this. Where salary count, okay, sum of employee salary. I think it's the same thing again. Employees underscore. Let's try this. I think you're not supposed to put a where clause inside the child object. Okay. So you can't put a filter inside. If you want to query, you have to put this filter outside because this filter is for employer, right? So where salary, here you can write it. So let's first get rid of this. I'll explain to you all. Give me 1 minute. So select ID comma name from employer, right? So this is what you get, that this is the employer name. You see TCS UK, TCS India, right? And these are the employees. As you see here, there's one employee called Apoorva. There's another called Ayush, then Malti. It's an ugly table, right? So usually this type of query is not asked, but if in the interview they ask you to fetch the child info from the parent, right? Then it's always through an inner query that you guys write like this. But if you're fetching the parent info from the child, then you don't need to worry, right? Because it's a field. Any questions in this query?
No.
Okay. Then let's try to write another query. I will see how you guys can write it. Opportunity. Let's take opportunity. Okay, so let's try to insert first of all, like opportunity data inside of Salesforce. Okay, let's try to insert it first. So help me with this requirement, right? Like what I want to insert is opportunity data. And the fields that I want to insert are all, I need to make sure that required fields are populated, right? If required fields are not populated, then I won't be able to insert the data. Like what are the required fields? I need the name of the opportunity. I need the close date and stage. If I don't enter these three data, can I insert in the opportunity table? I cannot,
No.
right? So first let's create a file for opportunity upload. Okay, so what I need the name of the opportunity, then
Page.
close date, then I need the stage. So I'll just create opportunity 1. Let's update 150 opportunities. Okay. So insert 150 opportunity, then I need a close date. Now close date ke liye you guys need a format. Okay. So let's take the format from the Google. So date format for data load in SFDC. See, this also is a skill. You guys need to know what to query, right? I mean, what to ask the Google, right? Like how do you insert the data, like for the date field, right? So date format data load will be like this. You see MMDDYYY. So I will just simply copy this and I will upload. 06 10. Okay, why? Okay, we can go with 2023. Okay, so I'll just go with this date. I think this is future date. That's fine. And stage. Okay, so stage should also have a similar database, right? So what are the different stages? I should choose one of these stages. It can't be a stage outside of this pick list value, right? That will be bad data in the system. Okay, so I will take prospecting. Please stop me if you guys are having any doubts. Okay, prospecting. Then I'll take some other stage, closed one. So remember, this file will be given to you by business. Okay, you don't have to prepare this file. I'm just doing it for learning purpose. I hope that makes sense. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I will choose closed lost. So I have created this data. Now, if business gave you this data without stage and they just give you name and close date, right? You cannot insert the data in the database. Why?
The required field.
Yes.
Stage is
So,
required.
right. So the first step is you guys need to make sure that when you are doing the data load, your Excel file has all the required fields. That is the first step. Okay. Once you do that, you can go ahead and update or insert the data. So let's try inserting the data. To insert, I'm going to import. And which object am I selecting here?
Opportunity.
So opportunity. So name, close date, stage, name. Okay. What's my next step? Import. Failed. So what is the error message?
Date is invalid.
Invalid format. So I don't know what this means. It can happen in our times, right? Like we don't know what it means. So I just simply put this and say SFDC error. Okay. So here will be some solutions on how to fix it. So let's see it.
मैम पहले ईयर फिर मंथ और उसके बाद डेट डालो, आ जाएगा.
Yeah, see something like this here, I believe.
हाँ, पहले ईयर फिर मंथ और फिर डेट.
So let's try this format. Let's go back to SFDC, I mean our Excel file, you know. Okay, let's try again. Close date, stage.
अभी मैम डेटा सेम ही है.
I think I didn't change, है ना?
फॉर्मेट रॉन्ग हो गया मैम.
Yeah, let's check the right format, okay? So valid.
मैम वो एक्सेल में अभी डेटा चेंज नहीं हुआ, सेम फॉर्मेट है जो लास्ट टाइम किया था.
Okay.
मैम एक्सेल ओपन करो एक बार.
Yeah, 1 second. So 25 is a not valid form for SXD date. This is not valid. Here's the solution. While uploading or inserting on the, make sure it is YYYMMDD, right? This one, you guys told this, right?
यस.
So यहाँ पे we'll put 2023. Month we'll put 06.
नो मैम.
We'll
हाँ,
update,
उस पे
yeah,
क्लिक
yeah.
करो. नो मैम, क्लिक करो, ऊपर डाटा पे क्लिक करो. हाँ,
This,
यहाँ से सिलेक्ट करो ईयर, मंथ और डेट. स्क्रॉल
yes,
डाउन.
this is correct, right? So it is year, month, date.
मंथ एंड डेट. यस.
So this will be your format. ये होने के बाद you can insert it. Let's try again. So successfully inserted. Okay. Now I want to write a query to find out all the records that got created today for opportunity. Okay. Which has the stage as closed won and closed lost. What is my query?
Select ID from
सिलेक्ट
opportunity.
आईडी फ्रॉम अपॉर्चुनिटी.
Hmm.
where created date is equal to today.
Very good. Then
Then stage
hmm.
is last one. Where again we can write that where.
No, you can write where only once, right? So it is and the next thing, right? So and stage name kya hai?
From
No.
Close lost and close long.
close to one.
Yeah, so
Close.
that is where you need to be mindful. Okay, now I have told you two stages, right? Like closed one and closed lost. So you need to, you can do one thing. You can say where stage name is equal to closed one, right? And stage name is equal to closed lost,
Close lost.
right? You can write like this. Okay, but what happened?
We can use and like that. No?
Yeah. So this will not give you the value. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to put stage in. Okay, whenever there's more than one value, you'll put in and you'll say closed one, comma, okay, closed lost. The values that you have been asked to put. So now you will get it. Okay. The reason why it did not work last time, right? Stage name is equal to closed one and stage name is equal to closed lost. ये and का मतलब क्या होता है? And का मतलब है कि एक ही record में closed one और closed lost होना चाहिए. It cannot be possible, right?
Yes.
So stage एक ही हो सकता है, एक record में एक ही हो सकता है, right? It can be one or it can be lost. Had I put stage name is equal to closed lost,
Close to one.
or let's try this, okay? Stage name is equal to,
Or stage name is equals to close lost.
let's try कि इसमें क्या होगा. See, और हम यूज नहीं कर सकते यहाँ पे because stage name दो बार हो गया है ना. Same field is used twice. So this operator will not even work. So it's a wrong type of query. So if you want to say ki, you know, where the stage name is equal to closed one or closed lost, you can simply put it in your bracket like this. Okay. Comma, closed, lost. Now you got names of opportunity. Okay, and here you can extract stage name. So here you'll see half are closed one, half are closed lost. So your query is correct. All right. So now I want to find out okay. I want to grow. I want to make sure this opportunity, it is coming in the right order from descending to ascending. ये हो गया ascending to descending, है ना? Right? 89, 80, 80.
Yes.
But I want it from descending to ascending. Then what I do? I can group by. Okay, group by name. और group by ID करेंगे. Group by ID. Sort by name. Why is it not working? And stage name in. Sort by. Let's try something. Sort by name. Field must be grouped or aggregate from ID where created date is equal to today. Let's check what this error is. Give me a minute. So if you're using aggregate function, either you keep the aggregate function only in the statement, okay, where is equal to this group by the product name. If you're including other fields as well, select, okay, in the select statement, then you have to group by those fields. Acha. So if you go to my query, where is that? So we have stage name, right? So group by stage name. What is the issue? Okay, let me get back to you on this. I'm not understanding what this issue is. Okay. But this is important to know for all of us. Like, how do you place it in descending and ascending order, right? So, for example, now it is 73, 74, 75. Now, if I want to place it other way around, like in order, then I can actually group by it. But why it is not letting me group by select ID group. Yeah, I need to find out why this is not working. Okay, I'll try to find it and I'll tell you guys tomorrow. But yeah, let me make a note of that for myself. But yeah, any other questions on data load?
Ma'am, this in or these are the terms in queries or what, ma'am?
Yeah,
Group
so
by
basically in is used for, let's write all the thing here, right? So select from where in and or, right? So these are actually the key terms. Yeah, these are the key terms that you'll use in any query. You'll always start the SOQL query with select, and then you'll select the ID from the specific object where you will use to filter out, right? You'll filter, if you want to filter this logic into any requirement they're asking, then you'll use the where. Then in is for if you have many strings to be used, right? Like, so if I say try to find out all the people who stay in Bangalore, and Pune, Mumbai, like if I say all this, then you can put in and put all these city names, right? Where city in Mumbai, comma Pune, comma Bangalore, comma whatever, right? You can put if that requirement is there. And is nothing but all the requirements should be met, right? If one is also not met, then it doesn't show the data. So if I'm saying that show me all the students whose country belongs to India and to US, then it will show me all the people in the system who has country is India and US. But if I put where country is India or country is US, right? Then what's going to happen?
it will show all countries and India, all other countries.
Because it will show the people who has country is equal to India or it has country is equal to US, right?
Yes.
So that is what is the OR operator for. Like if one of the requirement is also met, it will show all the records. Okay. So that is what is the OR operator used for.
We can use it as many times as we want, and.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or-
You can use it as many times as you want.
Ma'am, can you repeat and?
Yeah. So for instance, let's take an example here, right? I'll take an example here. Let's go to employ. Let's try to create a scenario. If I go to opportunities. So if my requirement is, I want to find out all the opportunities where amount is greater than 15,000. Okay. And the close date should be, or let's take where amount is equal to greater than 15,000 and the stage should be equal to closed one. Okay, understanding? So what I'll write, I'll select ID from opportunity. I think something's wrong. Hold on. Data import. So what I'm going to do is I'll write the query for what I just explained. So I want to find out the names of all the opportunities where the amount is greater than 15K. Okay. And stage is equal to closed one. So what will the system do? The system is going to return to me what I asked for, right? Like, let's see here for a moment. Okay. So it returned to me all those records meeting both these requirements, right? It gave me, amount which is greater than 15K and stage is equal to closed one. But if I put or here, you see what's going to happen? The data has increased because sometimes the opportunity can have closed one. Okay. But the amount need not be greater than 15,000, right? Because it's or. Either this or this show me all those data, right? Getting the
We
difference?
cannot use both condition, na? Or not in one query.
No, I mean, you can put here amount greater than 15K or stage name is equal to this and created date is equal to today, right? You can do this.
Okay.
Hold on. Expected token and created date is equal to this. You can do that. Why is it not? Okay. I think you need to put it in the bracket though. There may be some malfunction in the query. Yeah. Like this. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's how you can achieve this requirement.
Ma'am, basically or is an optional.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
like yes.
okay.
So what other questions do you all have? Be good.
Ma'am, just to arrange in ascending or descending, can we use order by?
Yeah, I think we can try that. order by descending.
I shared one link in chat.
Okay, let's try. See, order by field name. So that's exactly what I did. Order by stage. Okay, name basically. Order by name. Yeah, so this is order by name. Then we put descending. I guess we can try this. Yes, ESC ascending. Okay, yeah, it's actually taking it in a different way, right? See, ascending 1, 10, 100, 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's taking like this. I think it's not understanding the numbers. So if I put descending, what happens? See, descending is starting with 99. Something is wrong. That's why I want to check this out. But you're right. At least something worked. It did not fail. Okay. So group by name descending. Yeah, this doesn't work. Sort by name descending. No. Yeah, so order by is the right query. Okay. But you saw, right, what's happening here. It's not ordering by descending or ascending for some reason. You see this? By stage name, let's take stage name. See, closed, lost, closed, one qualification. So this is working fine, right? L, W. See, this is working fine, descending. But the number thing is not working systematically. Not sure why. Are you guys seeing what I'm trying to do from what you told? Oh,
Yes.
was that who shared? Ashish, right? Yeah. So let me get back to you on the order by stuff, okay? Something is wrong here. Yeah. So one more thing before we wrap up the class, okay? You guys can actually register yourselves here. How many of you know about this trailhead?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, so you can come here to trailhead and you can do data loading, okay? You can just come here, and in fact, you can actually do all the topics we do in the class, right? Whatever I teach you, you can come here and try to do that. Try to perform a project instead of module. Module is like you have to read, right? I mean, if you guys are interested to read, that's fine and great. But if you want to do some activity, then it's better to do a project. So I would recommend you guys to come here and try to do some projects, right? Because if you go here, like say import and export data with data management tools, it'll tell you what to do one by one, step by step thing, it'll be told. So it's like great to learn.
Ma'am, we need to register for it.
Yeah, it's free of cost, unlimited usage. You can just register, create a playground, right? I mean, a Salesforce org and perform your activities. It's like a practice thing, that's all. Like, I mean, you guys keep asking for assignments, right? So instead of me giving some assignment, you can come here to Trailhead and actually do projects. You can come here and say do projects, right? Learn projects. And here you'll have so many different projects, which are the topics that we really covered in the class. You know, it will be mostly that, like you can learn over here, you can select what thing we want to learn. Sales Cloud, right? So select Sales Cloud. See here, it will tell you some easiest things, level beginner you give, because you guys just starting new projects. Okay, you can create lightning experience. So many things are there here. It's fun. So I used to learn this before, like, and I got I think 200 badges or something. So this is like a add-on to your resume, right? You can actually put in your resume every project you complete. What Salesforce does it gives you a badge. Okay, it gives you a badge, and you can use that badge to climb up the ladder, right? So Salesforce has something called as Ranger. So if you're a ranger, that means you're very good. Like, you know a lot of things already in Salesforce. So if you see here, Ranger Trailhead, this is the highest rank that anybody can get. So once you cross 100, right? Like once you get 100 badges in Salesforce, Salesforce gives you a title called Ranger. Okay, and you guys can add this in your resume. Like, yeah, I don't do this now because I have a job and I'm experienced. But when I was getting a job earlier, like 4 years back or something, I earned some badges. So today I have like 250 badges or something. Okay, but I've stopped doing Trailhead now. But since you guys are beginners, it's a good place to start. Okay, keep this and keep yourself up to date.
It is Salesforce Trailhead, no?
Yeah, Trailhead. I can share the link for you all on the chat. And in Trailhead, try to do projects. If you're very interested to learn more about a specific topic, you can do even modules, right? Can do that. Okay, I will stop the recording. I think we're way beyond the time.